want to talk about our new bump stops that we've had featured here. And so we have a full line in stock, ready to ship for a pretty broad range of Volkswagen and Audi applications. This is something that we've been wanting to do for a bit. It took a few years to get this product line engineered and off the ground and manufactured, but we're really pleased to be able to release it now and have it to market. For a long time, with our lowering springs, we've recommended customers trim the factory bump stops, and that is an option, and it's better than nothing. The problem is a bump stop is sort of the final bit of suspension that prevents the car from bottoming out. Bump stops do actually come into play more than a lot of people think, and they give the car a progressive nature. So as the suspension compresses, the bump stops start getting involved and start compressing and adding additional spring resistance to the suspension far sooner than you'd know or feel. But
to be clear, these are not salt and pepper shakers, as somebody just mentioned.
No, see, they're hollow bushings.
Yeah.
And so when you lower the car, let's say you lower it an inch, the suspension is now 1 inch closer to the bump stop. That means the factory bump stop is going to start interacting much sooner than it's supposed to. And one way you know that you're having bump stop issues is you'll be driving the car, let's say on a flat, smooth surface, and it feels fine, but then you kind of go into a turn and you hit a bump, and the suspension just feels like it's bottomed out, and then the car just comes bouncing back, and it's honestly can be very scary and unsettling to the whole car, because what's happened is your suspension is essentially stopped working because the bump stop has stopped the suspension from working. And this is going to happen if you, say, lower a car 2 inches with factory bump stops. You're going to have this kind of problem, guaranteed. So for our suspensions, our lowering springs, if you lower the car an inch, we recommend you trim like a ½ inch or up to an inch off the factory bump stop. And that's better than nothing, and that certainly makes things functional. But what happens is, as you can see, these bump stops are shaped, and they compress. They get stiffer the more they compress. And so what happens if we, say, cut the top of this bump stop off, you're now left with this thicker, stiffer bottom portion. So you lose a lot of the progressiveness of the bump stop. So with our 034 density bump stops, what we're able to do is re-engineer and design them to be shorter, so they still can operate like a factory bump stop, as if the car was 1 inch lower from the factory. This is really the ultimate way to do the bump stop, and we strongly recommend adding these to any spring purchase. Even if you're using another company's springs, these bump stops are the right bump stops. They're certainly substantially better than stock bump stops, and they're going to be quite a bit better than trimmed factory bump stops. The trimmed factory bump stops will technically clear, so they won't hit as soon, but once they engage, they'll be too stiff.
There's no progression.
Yeah, there's no progression. And so that's where we're able to add that back in. So again, this is made from the same basic materials as the factory bump stops. These aren't necessarily supposed to be stiffer or harder. They're just supposed to be shorter so that the bump stop is now sized correctly to the new level or height of the factory suspension. If you have any questions, shoot them over. And they are in stock and ready to ship. And they're cheap. I mean, I think for a whole car, you're going to be looking at less than $100. So.
People were saying you look like salt.
Yeah, we already got that. Yeah. And then now people are asking when we're going to have salt and pepper shakers. So
it's not a bad idea.
No, we should do a little line there. Peugeot did. I mean,
that's
they
right.
get some really
they're
salt
they're
peppers.
peppers.
That's
they're
what
peppers.
I use in my sitting on my kitchen table.
Mm-hmm.